Hi everyone, this is Deb Tim, a Canadian girl, and today is a new edition of Fish Room News. Lots to share, so please stay tuned. So once again, welcome to my little fish room. Looking at the room like this, it doesn't look like there are very many changes, but there are changes within the tanks, and there are some changes even with my bettas. So let's take a look. Here is Rufus in my hospital tank. I added a dozen yellow labs for a couple of reasons. One, for company for Rufus, and the second reason is they're going next week and it's easier to catch them in this small tank than in their 30-gallon grow-out. Rufus is pretty listless, but he's been eating a worm a day. I think the yellow labs keep him interested, but he's really not doing so well. He looks so sad, but I'm really hoping that he will turn around. In this 10-gallon fry tank are my second brood of zebra danios. They are about 3 weeks younger than the first batch. It's pretty crazy the variations in size within a single brood. Now this spawn was bigger than the first one. This week when I did their water changes, I took out the breeding stones, as I call them, and gave them a sand substrate. They're also now on powdered food, but still get the baby brine shrimp once a day. This group here is now 5 weeks old. And here in this 10-gallon aquarium are the first zebra danio spawn. Now they hatched back on March 9th. Danios are easily bred and grow quickly. It's always difficult to tell size in an aquarium, but most of this batch are now about an inch long. Some of these will be joining my community tank when they are a little bigger. I may add some to each of my show tanks as well, since I have so many. I did enjoy watching them spawn and grow, so I may do another round shortly, but for now I'm going to need an empty tank soon, as I do have other mums holding. Here are my Opie and Yellow Lab fry. The Opies are about a week further along than the Yellow Labs. They are all doing very well and very active. It's interesting watching them compared to the Danios. The cichlids seem to utilize the entire tank, where the Danios stay at the top and across the front. As far as eating, both species are incredibly fast at cleaning up their food and always seem to look hungry. For the most part, my bettas are doing well. They all seem to like their little pots. Now, in the last couple of weeks, I've lost 2 of the Bettis. They were looking thin, so I was soaking their pellets in garlic guard and Vitachem to encourage them to eat, but they didn't seem interested at all. In their tanks, I moved the 2 females I had in the 20-gallon grow-out with the yellow labs. The boys seemed to really like the new view. My plants have been moved down to the family room, so my desk is clear now. I continue to hatch baby brine shrimp every other day. When I have a surplus, the cichlids get them as a treat as well. In this little betta cube, I have my baby mystery snails. It's on a heating pad, so it just keeps the water slightly warm. I also have a little sponge filter running for them, and I gave them broccoli on a clip to eat. Right now, this 20-gallon grow-out is empty. I sold a bunch of the super red zebras last week, giving me more room in the 30. As I mentioned, I moved a dozen yellow labs into the tank with Rufus, and the remaining ones I moved in with the red zebras. I will be moving the OB and yellow lab fry into this aquarium when I do their next water change. I have 3 mums holding in my 75-gallon African cichlid show tank, so I will be needing the tank for those babies. I'll be stripping the mums tomorrow when I do their water change. They will have to tumble a bit, but then I will need this 10-gallon for them to grow in. And rounding up this edition of Fish Room News are my largest fry. This is my 30-gallon grow out home to my super red zebras and now the yellow labs. They're growing fast and will be ready to go any time. Most of them are pushing 1.5 to 2 inches. I will wait until they're a little bigger before taking them into my local fish store. I have no immediate need for this tank, so they have lots of time to grow. I also have a couple plecos in here that do a great job in keeping the rocks pretty clean and clear of algae. So until next time, this is Deb Tim signing out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.